Reading of the poem, The Ball Poem. Actually, the poem is about a boy. I told you in my previous video that he was playing with the ball, and all of a sudden the ball bounces and goes in water. Now, what the child is feeling about and what does the ball represent in the poem is to be read. So, let us start. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. The poet saw a boy playing with the ball. Then the boy loses his ball. The poet asks, what should the boy be feeling now? When he lost his ball, the poet wants to ask the child a question. How is he feeling now? He asks, what will the boy do now? You have lost your ball. What will you do now? This was the next question, you can say next query by the poet. He saw the ball bouncing merrily. When the boy was playing with the ball, he saw, the boy answered, I saw it go merrily bouncing. The boy told, when I was playing with the ball, I saw it bouncing merrily, jumping over happily down the street, and then when he was playing in the street, then merrily over, there it is in the water. All of a sudden, it went into the water. The boy answered that I was playing with the ball in the street, and now, in the same way, merrily bouncing, happily jumping over, it has fallen into the water and lost forever. Let us discuss some questions side by side for RTC. This is the first paragraph. What has gone wrong with the boy? What is wrong with the boy, or what has gone wrong with the boy? The boy has lost his ball. What did the poet see? The poet saw the ball bouncing down the street and finally falling into the water. Where did the ball fall into? Obviously into the water. What is the condition of the boy after losing his ball? Obviously, when we lose something, we feel upset. So the boy also seemed to be upset after losing his ball. Moving to the next paragraph. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Just underline the words. Ultimate means final. Shaking means trembling. And grief is sorrow. Fixes, that means it overpowers. Rigid, unmoved. Trembling, shivering. Staring, looking keenly. Young days, that means childhood days. Harbor, a place where ships load and unload the goods. So, I repeat the lines. No use to say, Oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Okay, there is no use of consoling the boy because he can't be consoled. If he is offered other balls in place of the lost ball, even then we can't console the child. Finally, a deep grief or deep sorrow overpowers the boy. He stands shaking there, but is not ready to leave the place. He stands shaking there without leaving the place. Standing there, when he was standing there, he stares down the place. He was just looking very interestingly, very keenly the place where the ball has disappeared in the water of the harbor. The loss of the ball in the harbor reminds him of his childhood. Obviously, I told you that the poet is trying to use some metaphors. The childhood, the ball here is compared to the childhood. The childhood has been lost, and childhood days which have been lost in the harbor of life. When we are growing, we lose childhood. You have gone through the poem 7 ages. Every age gives way to the next one. So childhood is again a part of our growing up. Now let us discuss some questions for RTC point of view in this paragraph. What is the significance of the lost ball for the boy? Obviously, the ball is a very small thing. There will be of no use of consoling the boy that he can have other balls in place of this lost one. Maybe the boy loves the ball so much. So if metaphorically anybody asks us just to be relaxed about our lost childhood, it is very difficult to just forget about our childhood. What is the condition of the boy? Obviously, the boy is overpowered with grief and stands like a statue. He was just rigid. He was not moving. He was staring down the harbor where the ball was lost. Where is he staring down? He is staring down the harbor where his ball disappeared into water. What does he think of his young days? He feels that as the ball has been lost into the harbor, similarly, the childhood has been lost in the harbor of life. Loss of that childhood is greater than the simple loss of this ball, because I told you the ball is the metaphorical meaning of childhood, is the metaphor of childhood. Next lines, I would not intrude on him. A dim, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. Now what happens? If we lose something, people used to ask us that we should be responsible. We should be caring about our things. So when we lose our childhood, how we can be careful? How we can be responsible? Responsible means when we lose our childhood, we move to the next age. You can say adolescence age, then adult age. We need to be responsible in the life. The poet doesn't want to intervene or console the boy. He doesn't want to discuss something with the boy. He just doesn't want to console the boy also. Only he will not tell the boy that the ball he has lost cost almost nothing, because it is not a simple ball. He will not console him by saying that he can buy another ball quite easily, because if ball is the childhood, it's not easy to get the childhood back now. No other childhood can be awarded to anyone. No good sense prevails over the boy. He knows that in this world, people are always running after acquiring and getting things. He realizes what is his first responsibility in such a world: to be responsible, be caring about his possessions, about his things. We should learn how to take care of our things. So, does the poet want to intrude in the matter? No, not at all. What is the cost of the ball? Is just a dim, a very cheap, very low cost thing. How does the poet prepare himself? How does the boy prepare himself? The boy senses his responsibility and composes himself calmly. He understands that it was his responsibility to take care of his possession, whether it's a ball or something else. What kind of the world is it? It is the world where people run after possessing and grabbing the material things. And then we should be able to understand to take care of all those possessions. Next, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Very beautiful lines are these. Buying and losing continues throughout our life. It is going on process. People will always buy such balls, and the balls they buy will continue to be lost. Now, balls refers to the things. Once a ball has been lost, it is lost all again. Money is totally external to our inner feelings. Money can't compensate our emotional losses. Now, here ball refers or metaphorically means emotional losses also. Money can't purchase everything in life. No. Similarly, the childhood that we have lost forever can't be bought back with the money. No money can purchase your childhood back. So, what will people take? People will go on buying new balls. What will be the fate of the balls? The balls will always be bought and lost forever, because they represent the things now. We purchase the thing, we lose them. We purchase the thing, we lose them. Can money buy all the lost balls? Lost ball means everything which we have lost in life. No, money can't buy back all the lost balls. No. Why is money external? Money can't compensate internal emotions, internal losses, emotional losses suffered by us. Money can't buy it at all. Coming to the last lines. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes this epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Just mark the words: desperate, hopeless. Epistemology, that is the knowledge here. Epistemology is the knowledge. Epistemology of loss, That means understanding the nature of loss, what type of the loss is. So the boy was his hopeless eyes in the beginning to learn the nature of loss. Now the child wants to understand what he has lost. He is learning what it means to lose something. What is losing in life actually is. He has to learn how to come over the loss in the life. If we have lost something, how we are to come out of it. It may be material loss, it may be monetary loss, it may be physical loss of some near and dear ones. So how we are to come out of it, that is to learn. He has to learn how to come over the loss and stand up again in life. He has to learn this basic principle of life which every man of the world has to learn. He must learn how to bear the pangs, the pains of the loss of his childhood. He has to move ahead in life, forgetting the loss of his child. We need to move ahead, forgetting the losses in our life. Are his eyes shining with hope? No. There is hopelessness in his eyes. There is no hope in his desperate eyes, you can say. What is the epistemology of loss? Epistemology means the nature of loss. It means the nature of loss and means what it means to losing something in our life. What should every man learn? Every man has to learn what gains and losses are to be accepted and how. Because we need a balanced mind to accept all these losses in our life. What lesson is the boy taught here? The boy should learn how to stand up again after so much loss in life and move ahead in life, forgetting his loss of childhood. So that's all about the poem. In the next video, we'll discuss some more artists and important questions.